Yakuza Like a Dragon Pirate in Hawaii is low-key the One Piece game we never knew we needed. Developed by RGG Studios, Pirates in Hawaii follows the exploits of our fan-favorite character Goro Majima, who washes up on the beach with amnesia after losing a fight to a giant squid, on a boat, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And if you think that intro is weird, please don't, this is normal Yakuza shit. Once found and saved by a young boy named Noah and his pet tiger Goro, Goro Majima realizes he remembers almost nothing of his former life. But one thing he does remember is how to fight, because like in every Yakuza game, everyone is either an arsehole, a thug, or the nicest person you ever met. As the story progresses, you meet more and more colourful characters and establish a full-blown crew. For our crew, we have Noah, the boy who saved Goro. He lives on this island his grandfather discovered with his father and sister. Noah longs to see the rest of the world as a result of being stuck on the island for most of his life. He's characterized by having boundless optimism and a sense for adventure. Next is Jason, Noah's father, a scorned drunkard and a former navigator who lost his sense of adventure after he was betrayed by one of his friends, and self-isolates himself and his children on Rich Island, and spent most of his time drinking, at least until Goro Majima snapped him out of it. Next we have Masaru, the ship's cook. He's a goofy bastard with the most obvious mocapped face I've ever seen. He was a member of Jason's former crew and initially loses to Goro in a fight, then helps him steal his old captain's ship. And lastly, for the major protagonist crew members, we have Misaki, whose story focuses one of the game's many side quests. Her father was murdered by the Devil Flag pirates and her family's treasure was stolen, so she joins up with us to avenge her father and retrieve her family's treasure. Now with that over, how piratey is this game? Well, it's very bloody piratey, so to build up your crew, you can recruit willing candidates from all over the overworld. These candidates all have various different levels of strength and abilities that can be used on your adventure. However, not every recruit is going to join willingly. Some require payment, items, a one-on-one fight, or in some cases, your pirate status needs to be at a certain level to justify them joining you. Yes, your pirate notoriety is determined by a pirate rank system that maxes out at 5 stars. You gain rank points by doing a variety of mission objectives, completing side quests, completing the main quest, and fighting other pirates out there in the high seas. So let's talk about sea combat, shall we? Sea combat has you on your mainline ship, the Goromaru, sailing the seas and encountering other pirate crews. When in range of an enemy ship, you're able to fire cannons on each side of the deck, and you have 2 machine guns to fire straight ahead of you. As you progress the game, you're able to upgrade and swap these out for better weapons, with different status effects, and your ship itself can be upgraded and customized to suit your tastes. The ship itself controls really well, and you really feel the weight of the ship when you control it. And because it's Yakuza, your ship has rockets at the bottom of it that you can use to propel you way further. My only real criticism of the ship gameplay is typically how slow your ship feels sometimes. I understand it's for realistic effect, but they really couldn't give you an upgrade option that speeds up our ship or the speed of the rocket boost either. Following on from ship combat, there are situations where you can board the enemy ship and yourself and the crew can fight them on their own terms. These battles are massive in scale, and from what I've seen, the crew members that you recruit mostly have unique movesets. Even further down the line, when you track down the Devil Flag crews as part of the side quest, you can participate in a pirate showdown, which is an even larger scale battle between your crews, having you face off against 100 enemy pirates. I absolutely love shit like this. It's so immersive, and it makes the fights feel high stakes and satisfying when you win. They really cooked on the ship and crew combat in my opinion. Anyway, that aside, journeying across the sea, you will be able to dock at islands and explore them for treasure. So let's move on to land combat. I don't know what you expect me to say here, because land combat is basically just normal Yakuza gameplay. Goro is fun as hell to play as. He has 2 styles, Mad Dog style, which is the familiar fighting style he takes in the mainline games, unhinged, frantic movements, clone generation, and savage attacks. The swashbuckling style, which is unique to the game, has Goro equipped with 2 swords, a hook, and a pistol. In this form, Goro attacks more methodically, and there's a focus on switching up your approach based on your enemies. Each style has unique heat actions and different madness actions, which is what this gauge is. When this gauge is filled, in the Mad Dog style you generate a bunch of clones, or use a dark instrument in the swashbuckler style. Dark instruments are rare weapons you will find later in the side quest involving Misaki. I typically never have criticism about the Yakuza combat within these games. I just have the smallest one, and that criticism is the severe lack of attention given to the environmental weapons you can use. In a previous game, you could pick up almost anything in the local environment and bash someone's skull in. Every item also had a unique heat action too, but in this game, the environmental weapons seem like a big afterthought. Yeah, sure, you can use them, but they don't have that comedic impact to them. and the heat actions with them are fairly generic too. They just don't feel like they did in previous games, but like I said, it's a tiny issue, so who really cares? And I guess another tiny problem would be like the targeting sometimes, but it ain't nothing I'm going overboard about.
That's not funny!
During island explorations, you will come across swarms of enemies in a variety of situations, and by defeating them, you're rewarded with a treasure chest at the end of the island. The treasure list is very expansive, and if you're one of those completionists guys, you will have a lot to do in this game. Treasure can also be found in the overworld by exploring. As seen in Infinite Wealth, we do go back to the beautiful and expansive city of Honolulu, where the game's graphics really excel. The lighting and the textures are very visually appealing. While in the city, you can shop for customization options for Goro and the Goromaru. The customization is very expansive. They really tried with this spin-off game in terms of side content. And yes, this is a spin-off game. This ain't Yakuza 9, my friends. Although it does expand on the events of Infinite Wealth, it isn't a mainline game. Ichi doesn't even appear until the credits in this game. And the revelation of the ending doesn't spoil or affect the overarching story of Infinite Wealth, but instead adds context and its own original story. Speaking of which, I want to talk about Madlantis. Madlantis is essentially a pirate's heaven. Wanton crime, sex, debauchery, bloodlust and greed written all over this place. It reminds me so much of Rohanapur from Black Lagoon, a city where anything goes and the law has no jurisdiction. In Madlantis, you can enter the pirate coliseum and fight enemy pirate crews in a variety of death matches for the entertainment of fellow scumbag pirates. Ruling over Madlantis is Michelle, a one-dimensional sadist who likes death, money and cruelty, and Raymond Law, Samoa Joe? Yep, that's Samoa Joe, the wrestler, mocapped and put into this game. I don't know why that shit's so funny to me. It ain't even the first time something like this has happened. Bloody Danny Trejo was in Infinite Wealth as a major villain, so I shouldn't be surprised. Later the crew finds out about the lost treasure of Esperanza with untold riches and the elixir of eternal life that Jason wants to find to cure his son's asthma or COPD. They don't really specify which it is. But that doesn't matter. Helping Noah and getting rich is reason enough for Captain Majima. As the story goes on, we encounter new foes, old friends, traitors, morons, rich arseholes, and Majima begins to piece back whatever parts of his memories he can find. Overall, this game is fun as hell, but also kind of fucking short by Yakuza standards. I beat the whole game in around 30 hours, and by chapter 2 I was already max pirate rank. The game definitely has way more side content pattern than the typical Yakuza game with a longer story structure. I was honestly surprised that I got through it as quick as I did, but I had fun doing so I can't complain. This game is fun, goofy, has some really solid music tracks, and has generally moving character moments that enrich the cast. It's low-key the One Piece game that fans of that franchise has been asking for the longest. Food for thought, Bandai or whoever fucking owns One Piece games. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video. I'm done. See you next time.